ready to flow. Let's dive deep with Pisces Tarot.
Your business is my business. I see every ache, every kiss, the push, the pull, the silent cries. I'm exposing all the lies, revealing the hidden truth. With me, you have the proof. Your business is my business. True. Welcome to Pisces Tarot. True.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer. And over here, Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we're going to get into somebody's business with today's episode of Clarity for Couples. This is not entertainment. This is insight-driven awareness centered for your enablement and decision making, where the truth is surfaced and illusions are dismantled. I am revealing to you all of your relationship dynamics, and they come through with clarity and precision. Okay, now we are here to understand the energy, not necessarily sugar-coated. So if you have been feeling stuck, confused, emotionally deactivated, or stuck in a connection that doesn't fully make you feel like you have that comfort, right? That sincerity that you're looking for, right? That peace. Spirit has something to say to you, and trust me, this is not random that you are here, okay? So stay with me, because what comes out in this reading may clarify what you have been sensing but could not necessarily name, all right? Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, I almost canceled today, but I knew y'all would be here, so that's why I'm here. But using my intuitive, psychic, and tarot insight, I will unpack the emotional patterns, subconscious signals, as well as the energetic themes that are shaping the connection between you and your person. Whether you are newly in love, navigating some circumstances and questioning intentions, or even standing at the crossroads, this space is designed to give you context and perspective, but also actionable clarity that you can use. This reading is a collective, so take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. If you are ready to get into this reading, let me know that you're in the building. Go ahead and drop some stars in the chat, stars in the chat, stars in the chat, because baby, I am ready to get into this, and here we go. Before we go deeper, it's imperative that we ground ourselves, okay? Grounding not only keeps us present, but protected, and it allows us to be receptive. It allows spirit to move through with accuracy and not chaos, okay? So we're going to cleanse the energy first, and then I'm going to guide you through a meditation where we're going to take 3 deep breaths together, hold it, and release, all right? Here we go. Inhale clarity and exhale distractions. Next, inhale freedom and exhale emotional weight. Lastly, inhale truth and exhale fear. Divine Spirit, you are welcome here to come through with clarity and precision for those who are here presently and who will be with us in the future. Thank you, amen, and I say. All right, y'all, this is a quick reminder that this space is sacred, but it can get a little honest, too honest and raw, and sometimes leaving you vulnerable. Remember, Spirit will challenge you to grow outside of your comfort zones. The purpose for this is awareness and not punishment. So if you're ready to see what Spirit got to say to you, go ahead and drop that cooking emoji, because baby, it is time for us to get into this reading. Look, here comes Spirit with these signs. All right, here we go. Now, before we get too far into this reading, it's important for us to check the temperature of what is happening between you and your person, okay? And today, the overall energy is, I can't believe Michael Jackson popped up. I don't think I've ever heard a Michael Jackson song pop up in my spirit like that. But the timeliness of that particular song, while Michael Jackson was not singing it from a spiritual standpoint, right? For me, in junction with the message, it rang a spiritual tone, right? Knowing that no matter where you go, spirit is with you. You are connected to the divine. You are loved. You are guided. You are protected for. You are cared for. You are not alone, okay? And I know that given today's geopolitical climate, okay, it's rocky, it's rough, it's heavy energy, it's stale energy. People are resistant. People are advocating for change. A lot of that has to do with the energy of Pluto being in Aquarius. Every time there's been a revolutionary effort amongst the people, this combination has always been in play. So I am not surprised that there is so much uncertainty and unrest as it is right now. But listen, we are going to make sure that that energy does not transcribe into your relationship here today. All right. So I needed to get that out, and I apologize if I should have said that earlier. All right. Now, what is going on with this energy? What is the overall energy here, Spirit? Hey, Temptress. Beyond the ordinary. Okay. This is one of my favorite oracle cards because I think this is reflective of that transformational energy of what I just described, okay? There is a certain uprise that is occurring within you. It doesn't make sense. There is a feeling that is stirring up within you that has said enough is enough. And even if you are okay with the status quo, there is still something unsettling about where we are, not only as a collective, okay, and that energy that I just referenced is referring to that of the collective. However, it's not just synonymous to the collective, right? It is happening individually. We are all going through an uprising of disruption, which is positive, okay? I know whenever you think about disruption, it's usually inconvenience, but this is a positive shifting energy that is saying that what has once worked before, that is a tongue tie, is no longer operable in the year 2026 and beyond, okay? This is an unsettling energy for a reason, because it is time for us to disrupt these things, these notions, these boxes, these connotations that no longer are of service to us, okay? Now, this is beyond the ordinary because the way that the shift is coming from up within and outward. Okay, so that's what that card is reflecting. You may feel like you're alone because there's periods of isolation that is taking place. As I said in the open monologue, okay, this is not to reflect failure. This is to signify growth. All right, in a nutshell. Now, if you missed the open monologue, you might want to go back and watch it. All right. The truth that you need to hear right now for your journey is service. I feel good when I help others. Okay. So this may be I don't want to say a distraction mechanism, but a lot of times, especially if you are an acts of service person, you get out of your personal feelings. You get out of your way, out of your sadness when you show up and do something for others. You know, one thing they always say is, if you ever feel ungrateful, go work and do community service with a group of people that are less fortunate than you are. And that shifts your whole perspective just that quick, okay? In this particular instance, while you may be dealing with some civil or internal unrest, you being in service to others, okay, may give you the opportunity to no longer focus on the things that are hurtful and disruptive to your heart, your mind, your soul, and your spirit, okay? Now, gods of the hidden realm, what messages do you have for us today? Hey, that's too many messages, Spirit. Okay. The river dances to the sea. This is about a flow state, trusting in the adventure. Okay. So there is something going on, something small that is going to equate to something big in the long run. And again, this is transformative. Okay. This is a very transformative energy. You know, it's so interesting when you think about the river, and people kind of minimize rivers unless they're very large rivers, right? People tend to forget about the little stream rivers, but even the stream rivers have their own purpose, right? The stream rivers, the little small teeny weeny rivers, tend to run into a larger river or a larger body of water. Okay. So what I'm saying to you with that is, don't despise how small that new beginning is. Okay. The change that you're going through will equate to something much larger. And that is corroborated with what Spirit was saying earlier about things shifting beneath the surface. Okay. So it may be a slow but consistent flow. It may be a rapid flow. Okay. It's about trusting in the adventure that you are in. As I said that to you, I just recalled an instance when I went tubing. I don't know if you've ever been tubing before, but it is really fun. And when you look at the water, the water is steady, but it don't seem like it's fast enough to really get you down the river. However, once you get on that tube and you get unstuck off the rock, you start flowing. And unless you intend yourself to stop, it's kind of hard to stop. But when you judge it by the movement, you don't see anything. You just think it's going to be slow motion until you get on down and you're like, whoa, wait a minute now. Okay. So the point that I'm making is, just know that these shifts are happening. It seems like nothing is happening. You may feel stagnant. You may feel irritated. You may feel heavy. You may feel the weight of the unrest. What I am telling you today is don't be deceived by what you see with your eyes. Trust in what you know. Because if you really look at your heart, you know it's happening. Okay. It is happening, or it has already happened. Okay. Now, Spirit, what precise message do you have for the people that are here today and will be here in the future? Okay. Sacred self. Even though three fell over, I'm just going to take that one because I saw it first. All right. Sacred self. I know I am loved. Okay. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows my true worth in every moment. Let me experience that I am love. My own sacred self will always draw kindred spirits. Okay. I love this. Okay. I am love. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with anything? It pretty much reiterates what I've already said. Know your true worth no matter what state you're in. Know your true worth. And lastly, what is our soul whisper for today? Divinity. Okay. Spirit and the angels are on your side during this time of transaction or transition. Okay. This is an angelic disruption, interference. This is divine. Okay. Divine change. Now, as you know, this is my favorite book to read from. So I'm going to read from it. If I can get to the page fast enough. Okay, divinity. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. That is a very popular quote by Mark Twain. Every human born into existence is divinity given human form. Oftentimes we forget this fact and find ourselves at the mercy of self-doubt and self-criticism. We just talked about this in my open monologue, by the way. It is time to realize that your divine self is perfectly ample. Without trying, barefaced and naked, when everything has been stripped away from you and you stand broken, know in this moment you are enough. Didn't we just talk about that? I am enough. Yeah, I'll continue on. Realize with absolute certainty that your divine self, complete with all your perceived flaws, imperfections, and shortcomings, can never be enough. But who you are is enough. Stop engineering your outward appearance as one of perfection. Stop feeding into the endless rhetoric of toxic comparison, all while allowing yourself to plummet. Everything you are and everything you will be always has been and always will be perfect. So this is reiterating that you are enough, you are ample, you are adequate, you are perfectly imperfect, okay? This is about you overcoming deficiencies, lacking, insufficiency, as well as unsatisfactory things, okay? And the sacred words for today is I'm perfect exactly as I am right here, right now. This is related to your crown chakra, okay? And the reason why this is important is because when you look at this card, there is some type of mechanism of some sort on her head, okay? So when you think about that crown chakra, think about how that can weigh, okay? Think about how that deals with your clarity, your psychic abilities, how that deals with your intuition, all of those things, right? That weigh in on who you are. Now, I don't know who this is for today, because I definitely feel like this is for someone to understand that this change is inevitable and a change is gonna come. All right. So who feels this already? If you feel this, drop a fire sign in the chat if spirit has just read your situation without asking any questions. And as you think about it, I'm gonna get ready for this discovery. Here we go. Now, as we move into the discovery session, I'm so sorry, y'all. I don't know why people call me at the same time, knowing that I go live at the same time every day. But anyway, as we move forward into the discovery session, I will identify themes, friction points, and relational blind spots, okay, between you and your person. I'm just going to pull a bunch of cards and it may seem confusing at first. However, I will realign the cards with each individual's perspective energy, okay? So bear with me. I promise you I'm going somewhere. Now, what is the first insight for this situation, Spirit? What is the first insight for this, Spirit? What is the first insight? They'll be back, okay? Expect to hear from them soon, okay? So somebody is making a comeback, okay? Somebody is making a comeback. What is the T, Spirit? Can't even shuffle. What is the T? Not because something is wrong, but because something has shifted beneath the surface. All right, somebody is kissing butt. Okay, somebody is definitely trying to make up in this situation, okay? Perhaps this was a learning opportunity for one or both people to realize that you are enough. I have said this so many times, and I'm going to say it again. The most difficult things about relationships is dealing with other people and having to be patient with them in all of their skit, the good and the bad, and love them regardless, and still show up for them, okay? So perhaps this was a much needed break This was a situation where you needed to realign and check in with yourself and to have that self-esteem and self-awareness to understand that some things you just grow out of, right? You will never try to go back and try to fit a pair of pants from high school knowing that you done gained 40 pounds since then, right? So why would you try to force yourself to fit into a relationship that you have outgrown? A relationship that stifled you, a relationship that put you in a box and buried you, right? Or disallowed you from being who you are. You know, I was having a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and I was telling her about how I used to do all these different things, and I walked away from it because I was dating someone at the time that was uncomfortable. And she said, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You did all of this and you left it alone. I said, yeah, because I just wanted to keep the peace. But if I were to do that again, the answer is hell no. I absolutely would not. So there are ways that people try to contain other people instead of accepting them, right? Now, granted, there's going to be some things that are just absolute deal breakers. And if any of those things are one, no one is telling you to ignore the deal breakers. What I am saying is to understand what your requirements are, what are your nice to haves, and what are your preferred requirements, okay? And that will tell you everything that you need to know. Okay, that will tell you everything that you need to know. It's almost like a job description. You almost got to have a job description for your relationships nowadays, you know? Now, what else is going on here? Lucky break, good fortune, things coming, turning point, okay? So this turning point is what we talked about in the open monologue, okay? Spirit wants you to know that clarity is not absent. You already feel the truth in your body and in your emotions, and in these moments of stillness, when your mind finally quiets, what has been holding you in place is hesitation and the pause between knowing and trusting yourself enough to move, okay? So you got some type of lucky breaks coming your way. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Oh, goodness. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Okay. Push, pull. There was a power struggle, which is, again, what I just referenced in a roundabout way, but I just referenced it. A power struggle, an imbalance, and someone being stubborn. So someone probably wanted full control over this situation and disallowed someone else to have that. You know, there is a word for this, and I think it's a little bit misappropriating in a sense of it, but when you really think about it, forms of emotional abuse fall in this. So, you know, it's 5 different types of emotional abuse, right? There's mental, physical, emotional, financial, and sexual abuse, right? So when you think about someone trying to keep you bound, okay, someone disallowing you, not supporting your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations, always telling you not to do this, you can't do that, Spirit is telling you loud and clear, okay? You have outgrown that. You need to move forward from it and do not look back. All of these things that are challenging you to grow are purposeful and meaningful for the season that you're in, but most importantly, preparing you for the season that you will be in, okay? What lies beneath all of this? Y'all, if I'm over here giving y'all the crazy eyes, it's this sage burning my eyes. All right, what lies beneath all of this, Spirit? What lies beneath all of this? It definitely feels like there was a disagreement of some sort between what they thought you should be and what you actually evolved into being, if that makes sense. Okay, there was some type of disagreement where there was like a provision of some sort that was being denied. Betrayal, deceit, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted. Okay. So someone betrayed someone in this connection. All right. So now we're starting to get some substance here about exactly what went down. What is the true emotion here? What is the true emotion here, Spirit? Too many cards, Spirit. Divine feminine. Okay, so we have divine feminine energy here. All right. So that's a plus because that tracks with sacred self as well as the divinity beyond the ordinary. Yeah, someone is definitely tapping into their higher self. What has blocked this connection from growing? What has blocked this connection, Spirit? I keep hearing Michael Jackson. You are not alone. All right. Fear, loneliness. You stay in bad relationships because you are lonely. Be okay with yourself. So Spirit is definitely reiterating that all that glitters is not gold. Everything that shines is not a diamond. You know, rhinestones and diamonds both look the same in the light. Even these lab diamonds, they getting real creative. In other words, I hate to say it like this, but this is the only way I could think to say it. Satan is really meticulous in creating counterfeits. And what Spirit is telling you was that you've been settling for something that is not worth your time, your attention, your focus, and your love. All the ways they tried to break you and corrode your self-esteem and break your confidence and make you feel inferior and talk down to you. I am getting angry as I'm saying this. So this person must have really been emotionally abusive and verbally abusive, okay? Which is the worst kind, because once you've heard this negative talk, you start to inhabit that negative self-talk and you regurgitate that negative self-talk, because what you hear, you start to believe, and what you believe, you start to act upon. So Spirit is confirming in all of these different narratives, especially this one and this one, that this is not especially with this one, that this is something that you need to do differently, okay? Now, is it love in this situation or not? Is it love in this situation or not? Right now, the most loving thing that you can do is let me go. So this is about someone standing their ground and saying, let me go. Uncuff me, sir. I don't belong here. I don't need to be here. I'm walking in my own energy. I'm feeling good. I'm optimistic. I know that things are changing. The change is going to come. The change is going to come. We almost there, I promise you. What else, Spirit? Give, okay? One of the most best feelings we can experience is giving to others. I said that. I said that when that acts of service card fell out, but never mind. Let's keep going. When we do so, we feel lifted up and our lives improve greatly because of someone else's happiness. Think about one way you can give to someone else today. So Spirit is encouraging you to give. Spirit is giving you the opportunity to tap in. Okay? Spirit is like, listen, stop sitting around here moping, give to somebody else. Do something for somebody else, and this will let you see that this ain't just about you. Your life is bigger. Your light is more expansive. Your reach is more vast because of the people that you impact. Child, I don't want to say it this way because it sounds rather harsh, but somebody has been dealing with self-esteem issues. Somebody has talked you down so bad that you have had the most difficult time overcoming the rejection, the judgment, and the denial. Okay? the yin and yang, the yin and yang. Structure, foundation, wants to build a foundation, balance, building slow and steady, forming, okay? But if you look at this, it's holes in the foundation. Okay, it's holes in the foundation. What you gonna do with that? Now, as I stated, I'm going to recalibrate what perspective is coming from where, okay? The first person A, I think you're definitely walking in your divine feminine energy for once. I'm going to say this person is a feminine energy, whereas person B is not, okay? Person B is learning that they've stayed in this because they didn't want to start over, okay? They've stayed in this because it was comfortable, which is what we talked about in the open monologue. If you missed it, go back. I encourage you to. Person A is definitely showing up for others in different ways that they possibly can. I definitely feel like person A is also hoping that person B finally lets them go and move on with their life. But there's also this sense of, you know, they ain't gonna do this, but there's a turning point coming for you. Okay, there's a turning point coming for you. And that's what Spirit is telling you with all these other foundational cards or energetic readings, right? Now, person B, you definitely over here kissing booty, okay? Trying to get back. You hoping that this other person gonna want you back, but the reality is they don't. This has always been a push-pull dynamic with power struggles, imbalance, and you know, you're just too controlling at its core of it. It's about a controlling person, okay? Because you have not, person A, return back. You ain't spinning block. You're not second guessing. You feeling good about yourself. You're not over here questioning. They feel like you betrayed them. They feel like you stabbed them in the back. You ain't did nothing but live your good life in peace for once, okay? And person B feels like only they can give you the life that you think, or they think that they can give you. And it's not real. It's a fake sense of security. So with that being said, I want to know whose business we finna get into. So I need y'all to do the drum roll, please, because it's time for us to figure out whose business we finna get into. Here we go. Person A. Who is person A, Spirit? Person A is coming through today as a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you or your person is a fire sign, put the fire sign down in the chat. You are coming in today as the Temperance in reverse. This is imbalance, excess, extremes, overwhelm, overindulgence, alcoholism, addiction, self-healing, which is important, and realignment, which is what we talked about. Now, person B. Who in the world is person B? If we could get a drum roll for person B, because we need to drag this mofo. Person B is, sorry, I picked up two cards. Person B is a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I'm not surprised with this. Coming in as the Moon card in reverse. This is the release of fear, repressing emotions, inner confusion, misinterpretations, darkness, and insecurities. And one thing I will say about this is, even although I be a water sign, when you get on a water sign's bad side, they want to try to demonize you in all way possible, and they get flat out vindictive, okay? I don't have the capacity in my life to do that, but I have seen where specifically Cancers and Scorpios will hold this, they will drag you for filth, hang you up, wash you out, and drag you again, okay? So I'm not surprised that there's this level of toxicity. I'm also not surprised that the sense of verbal abuse may have come across, because they say anything. They don't care how they said it. It just, boop, there it is. And that's something that I am guilty of too. I'm guilty by association. Even though I don't mean it that way, sometimes things just come across that way, right? So with that being said, now that we have identified their foundational energies and some issues that's going on here, let's go ahead and get ready to find out what in the world is going on here. All right, here we go. So now that we have determined the foundational energy here, okay, and it's very clear, let's examine the present moment. We will now examine the energy of both person A and person B and identify who's feeling receptive, who's feeling defensive, who's being avoided, and what feelings and emotions are lying here, all right? So with that being said, let's go. Y'all, this sage, the energy up in here must have been real stale, okay? Because that sage is burning my eyes, and it ain't even burning no more. I just feel like I keep seeing clouds. I promise y'all, I ain't on no drugs. Okay. What in the world is going on with this fire sign? Okay, fire sign. What is going on with this fire sign? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What's going on with my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? Well, first of all, let me say this. I have said this to nauseum. I don't believe a fire sign and a water sign belong in a relationship together. And here's why. Heat can evaporate water. Water puts out fire. Okay. You also have two different elements. You have hot and dry, cool and wet. Those are two different energies. You see what I'm saying? Energetically, it's just a mix. Okay. It's a miss. All right. So with that being said, what is going on here? I mean, it's a fun time. It's exciting. You're going to get what you need out of it, but it's not sustainable in my personal opinion. I can go on, but this ain't about me, boo. Okay. Now, the present energy for this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is the Eight of Cups. Okay. As I stated. All right. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you have made the decision to walk away. Okay. You're not looking back at all. You are looking at this as an opportunity to explore and to see about your horizons. You have overcome so many obstacles and made so many headways in trying to get to where you're going. Whereas your process of healing once felt insurmountable, at this point, you're like, shoot, I got this. Okay, you're looking forward to it, right? And this is healthy for your overall healing journey at this point in time, because staying in this would have allowed you to scale back and not optimize your full potential. And this is where Spirit is telling you that your self-healing is imperative to your realignment and to your long-term success. Now, for these Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, why are these cards falling out like this? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, what's going on? Well, here goes that toxicity with this devil card. Okay. We are talking about the devil energy. So this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is coming in as a devil. These people are angry. They come with ample attachments and all kind of just, can I say it, demonic behaviors. This person is in a dark space in their life right now, okay? Which also explains why they've been relatively abusive, right? And how they talk and how they think. Yeah. This Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is relatively attached to you. Me too, Temptress. I'm always meeting fire signs. I think they're fascinating. But then when I get past that initial honeymoon phase, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Let me go back to my singleness, okay? It just don't work for me. But anyway, I definitely feel like this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces is in a very negative space, okay? They're controlling, they're dominating, they overindulge. They don't know if they're going or they coming. It's that rage, it's that violence, it's a force, it's the anger, it's the attitude, it's the control. It is such a volatile energy, right? Because they feel to me like closely like to someone who may be bipolar, and I'm not making fun of mental illness, but what I am saying is it's unpredictable. One minute they cool, the next minute they tight about something, and you like, where did this come from? Like, what brought forth this energy? We was just laughing, and now you over there. Okay, so with them, it's like no winning with them, and it's like the crash out with them is very real. Okay, it is very, very real. Now let's look at the feelings. Okay, what feelings is this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius acknowledging versus suppressing? Okay, what feelings is this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius acknowledging versus suppressing? Okay, well, that was quick. We got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, with this Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel strongly that my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius have come to the awareness that you ain't who you said you was, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Whatever your hook was, whatever your pitch was, the grass ain't green. Okay, whatever they said, they overpromise and underdeliver, and then they want to get an attitude at you because you calling them out. Right? They want to stifle you. They want to control you. They want to dominate you. They want to have a hand on everything you do. They want to check you, but can't nobody check them. You understand what I'm saying? So you finally came to the awareness, like, listen, I can't be in no situation where 1 + 1 don't equal 2. I don't care how many ways you slice and dice it. 1 and 1 equals 2. You're not about to sit up here and tell me it equals 10, because it does not equal 10. Okay? Everything that they have tried to sell you has been a bag of goods. Okay, a bag of goods. Now, what's interesting about this energy is both of y'all's foundational energy is coming in as major arcanas. Okay, now what we didn't talk about with the moon card in reverse, that also represents things that are unseen to you. These are hidden things, you know, things that just you can't see with the eye, right? And this is pointing to that darkness that is here, okay, with this devil card. So when you met this person, they never showed you the true them. You see what I'm saying? They hid it. They suppressed it. They loved bombed you. They whined you down. They talked the good game. And then you bought it, got home, and it don't have none of the function, the bells and whistles or nothing of what they told you. But now you stuck. Okay, so I feel strongly off of this energy alone. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you had buyer's remorse from the very beginning. Okay, you was like, oh, hell no. It is what it is. Okay, you was stuck like Chuck. It's almost like buying like a new car or something like that. You know how you go on a test drive and everything is cool. You get back, you fill out all the paperwork. You've been up there all damn day trying to get your automobile. Then by the time you get home, you done drove it, put some miles on it. By the time you get home, you realize, oh, this don't have that feature though. This don't have that functionality. Things that would have been a deal breaker. Okay, had you paid attention to those signs in the beginning, you would have said, okay, love, I'm good. I'm gonna enjoy. But instead, this person presented a whole, I was about to say ensemble, but they presented a whole facade of who they are, only for you to get home and really look at them and be confused like a mug. Like, what?
I'm telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Now, the emotions that this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is feeling right now is the Ace of Cups. Now, you see all of this energy is emotional. These are all about your feelings. This is all about your relationship. You wanted to offer this person everything that you said that you was going to give them. You wanted to give them the sun, the moon, and the stars above. You would have walked to heaven, okay, and grabbed them 800 stars and brought them back like you collect sand at the beach if you could. But their attitude, the way they treated you, the way they showed up, it diminished you. It killed your enthusiasm. This was a toxic, hostile love takeover. Baby, you were basically ambushed with toxicity, okay? That's how much you did not see this coming, all right? Now, for this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, what feelings? Okay. The Lovers. Whoo! Listen, I don't know what this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces got going on, but they got a lot going on because we got nothing but major arcana coming out for them, okay? Now, with this Lovers card here, what that tells me is that they prey on theirs, okay? And when I say pray, I mean P-R-E-Y, right? With this Lovers card, I definitely feel like there was immense attraction. We never said that that wasn't there. It was. I feel like there was an immediate recognition of the imbalance between you two, but I feel strongly like they thought that at some point or another, they can try to overwhelm you. That's that love bombing. Get you to get all warmed up and fuzzy just so that you wouldn't notice that they didn't deliver what they said they was going to deliver, okay? And so what I'm telling you is they made a choice to show up in that capacity, okay? They made a choice to not be their full authentic selves. They made a choice to be nasty, senile, or curmudgeon. They made a choice to create an environment of distrust, okay, and dishonesty. Like this was them. Now, the emotions that they are suppressing or acknowledging is they can't stop thinking about you. This is probably why they want to make the comeback, okay? They cannot stop thinking about you. They are replaying this over and over and over and over again, okay? And what this is telling me with this Six of Cups is they have finally realized that you cannot, you get more honey. You get more bees with honey, okay? You get more when you're not such a butthole. This person here, you know, they just were a nasty person. That's the only way I could tell you. I wish I could verbalize a positive feeling to express how they had something of value to add to you. I don't feel like they had anything of value to add to you. I feel like they were toxic. I feel like they were combative. I feel like they were angry and hostile. I feel like you became the scapegoat for all of their bullshit. And I feel like they took it all out on you. This is where this power imbalance and stubbornness came from. And this is why they feel like you betrayed them. Because you walked away and you said enough. And they like, what you mean by that? Okay? They're delulu. And we all know water signs can be delulu. Okay? I'm one of them. Hello? All right. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go on to what is favorable. I was thinking about if I should pull another card, but I'm good. If you are relating to what I am sharing and this is matching your energy and your thought process right now, I want you to go ahead and drop the emoji in the chat that shows me how you feel right now. All right, drop that emoji in the chat describing how you feel right now. Now, what is the most favorable energy here? What is the most favorable energy here? We got the King of Cups. Okay, this is the top. This is it. This is it. Spirit is telling you, again, you are enough. You are love. You are compassion. You have an act of service for others. You have all the empathy in the world. This is very interesting because one would think with all this cup energy coming out for you, fire signs, you would think that you would be the water sign in all of this, but it's not. It's reverse, right? And you could have the energy flop. Y'all know how this go, right? But with the Knight of Cups here, Spirit is saying you good. Your heart is not cold. Your heart is not empty. You get joy and love and laughter from being around others and being given to others. That's where you get your fulfillment from for now. For now, okay? Don't look back at this clown. Don't look back on all the things that went wrong before in the past because that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Again, Spirit said not because something is wrong, but because something has shifted beneath the surface. There was something in you that changed. You got the wake-up call. I don't know what happened, when it happened, how it happened. All I know is you woke up one day and you was looking at this mother trucker right there like, what? Now, I don't know if you ever heard this song, but Beyonce had a song way back in the day, probably like 20 years ago. This was a song that leaked on LimeWire, but never made an album. And it was called You Must Lost Your Mind. You must have just lost your mind. You must have just lost your mind. Like, that's the energy here. You lost your mind. I don't know why you sitting over here looking at me like you got something of value to give to me, because there ain't nothing here that's good for me. Like, everything that you got going on is mediocre, player. I need for you to understand that. Okay? That's the energy that you are in. And what Spirit is saying is, don't take on how they treated you as a reflection of you, because how they treated you is a reflection of them. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You good. You Gucci. Life is moving on. Things are going to be progressive for you. What you waiting on? Now, what is consequential about this? What is problematic? We got the 10 of Cups, okay? You thought this was going to be your happily ever after. You thought this was going to be your forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, ever.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
And it didn't happen, okay? So what put you in this cycle, again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, was that you were harnessing in on emotional satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment, the attainment. You thought you was at the end of your dating cycle. You thought that, or your marriage, right? You thought that you was at your forever place, only to have the rug pulled underneath your feet, only for you to be sitting here looking like, dang, I really got to start all over again. And all the nonsense that this mother trucker has told you over the course of your relationship with them, it served as a barrier in your mind, because all you could think of was all the negatives that they told you. It wasn't real, but that's all you could think of. Who's gonna want me? Like, the first thing that I noticed with her body being like that was that she was not in shape. So the first thing that you probably says, who gonna want me like this? My boobs look like tube socks. I done had a baby. My stomach looked like I got a muffin top with a tire and a Cheerio stuck on top. Like, you're probably being very, very hard on yourself right now, because you're just thinking from a deficit perspective of like, who's going to want me now? And that's why Spirit is coming to you and saying, the only reason why you thinking like this is because you fear being alone. You tolerated being in a situation that was not good for you from the beginning because you was afraid to be alone. The question then becomes, are you a person who goes from relationship to relationship to relationship? Are you a chronic relationship person? Do you not have downtime? Do you not know who you are? Do you not even recognize what you have to give these other people? Spirit wants to draw your attention back to the real truth of who you really are, that you are divine feminine, that you are divine love. You are love everywhere you go. Everybody around you loves to be around you. This is the shift. This is the pickup that you needed to get out of this rut and to get out of this cycle of nothingness. You ain't lacking nothing. You ain't missing nothing, but you settled for nothing. You see how that goes? Now, if Spirit called you out, I want you to put the repeat sign in the chat. And if you know that you are ready to stop and break this cycle, I want you to put the stop sign in the chat. Okay? Now, what is the soul lesson here? What is the soul lesson? Too many cards. What is the soul lesson here, Spirit? We got the 3 of Cups. Okay? This is emotional for you, fire signs. Do you hear me? Cup, 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 cup. What are you doing with your feelings right now? But Spirit is telling you with this 3 of Cups that the lesson here is you have to walk in your own victory. You have to look at yourself as being the baddie. Okay? You got to look at yourself Like you are the diamond that you are. You have to big up yourself, okay? You cannot be sitting around here waiting for somebody else to celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. Every year your birthday come and go. How many people plan something for you? How many people show up for you in a way that you show up for them? How many people go out their way to do anything for you? But yet and still, you are always the person doing this for them. You never miss a date. You never miss this. You never miss that. Everybody else done canceled on whomever, but you're there. But when it's time to give that energy back to you, who's bigging up you? So Spirit is telling you, you need to take a step back and realize who you are. Okay? And excuse me if I have to be so frank to say it in the way that I will say it, because I need to say it the way that I'm going to say it, okay? Spirit said you need to wake up and realize who the you are, okay? We can't be playing no games no more. Recognize who you are and what you bring to the table. And it don't matter if it's the kids' table, the big table, the boardroom table, the picnic table. It don't matter what kind of the TV stand table. I don't give a rat's boop about what it is, okay? Recognize that when you come and you sit down at that table, the table is set. Okay, the table is set. Without you, it's just an event. But you the life of the party. Spirit is saying, big up yourself. Pick yourself up. Get your self-esteem together. Love on you. Know who you are. Know what you bring to the table. And don't settle for somebody who don't see you the same way that you see yourself. This is the quantum shift that is happening. Your perspective changed about how you see you. And that's why the things that you used to have value on, the things that you used to look at that like, is now you like, pfft, because they don't have the same value no more. Now, Spirit said, you better celebrate. Okay, you better celebrate. And I don't care if ain't nobody there. You better celebrate. Don't argue with me, argue with Spirit.
That is so stupid.
Okay? Now, be honest. Are you recognizing the Spirit that's the lesson the Spirit is teaching you right now? Or have you been still resisting it? Because it feels like with all these things coming out, being as though it may, you are struggling still with your feelings and your emotions, the unresolved trauma that is cultivating you in a way that you can't move on. Okay? Now, what is this telling you that you need to do to heal? What is it that you need to do to heal? We got Judgment. Finally, we got out the cups. You got Judgment in reverse. Okay? You need to let go of what everybody is saying and thinking about you, boo. This ain't about you. Spirit is working on you because Spirit got a work in you that needs to come through. And it can't get through if you still worrying about what everybody else gonna say or think. Okay? It's time for you to know what you got to do. You got a life. I don't care if you got kids and your kids is grown. Now it's time for you to focus on you. I don't care if, you know, the man on the moon has something to say. Okay? I don't care who it is. Whatever commentary that they have about you, you tell them to shut up because they have no idea. And you might say more words than that, but they have no idea what you've been through. You have been through the pain, the grit, the sorrow, the turbulence, the mental anguish, the anxiety, the depression, the grief. I can go on and on and on. You've been through it. And you know how I know? Because it's showing up here. And now it's time for you to set yourself free, which goes back to the opening monologue of what Spirit was saying. It is time. It is time. There is no way on God's green earth that you can continue to allow yourself to continue down that path, because Spirit is saying you need to shut that down and move on. Things are progressing for you. You're going to miss your destiny worrying about something that ain't got nothing to do with the price of a coffee bean in Africa. Okay? Now, what is it that you need to do? What area is Spirit calling you to grow? I want you to name one thing you about to let go of. And it's okay if you say this raggedy piece of, da 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 da. Now, where is Spirit asking you to grow? We back to the 7 of Cups. We back in that cup energy. What in the world is going on? Spirit said you need to start realizing that you got other options. You got to start acknowledging that things are not as destitute and bland as you think they are. Spirit is giving you all these options, all these opportunities. You notice that how when you left this person alone, your energy just picked up. You didn't have that. I mean, well, there was some sadness. It wasn't that heaviness. It wasn't that misery. It wasn't that depressive energy that was kind of stale and sterile. You actually cracked a smile for once. You actually laughed at a joke. In the past, if you did that, it felt like your face was gonna hurt if you cracked a smile. Now you over here laughing and smiling and being polite and enjoying life because you don't have that darkness hanging over your head. You don't have that chain dragging on your feet, okay? This person was not good for you, period, end of story. We're not. But they played a role in your journey. And that's what Spirit is trying to get you to understand. That cup is now empty. Look around and see what else is going around. Reflect and assess and acknowledge that you do have other options. You do have other choices. You do have new other opportunities. People's life don't stop with one divorce. People's lives don't stop with some kids. You got people in their 70s and 80s still dating and getting married. Why I gotta stop you at 40? And for some reason, I heard the number 42. So I don't know who I'm talking to. That's 42. Or something significant happened at 42. But Spirit is saying this don't have to end for you at 42. You will have what you say you have. Now at the bottom of the deck, we got the King of Swords. Okay? And what Spirit is saying with this King of Swords is, listen now, you got to be thoughtful. You got to be precise. You got to execute. You got to be knowledgeable. Be more careful about who you put yourself in front of. Just because they smile don't mean that they nice. Just because they teeth straight don't mean it's theirs. Everybody got dentures in them doggone fake teeth now. You know them big old teeth that look like chiclets. Okay? Spirit is saying acknowledge how much work you've done to grow and be selective and careful about who you put your life in the hands of. Because the reality is, when we get entangled with folk, we are entrusting them with our heart. We are entrusting them with our soul. We are entrusting them with our lives. We are entrusting them with our physical health. So you're going to give that precious cargo to any and everybody? That's like giving somebody a multi-million-dollar diamond and saying, do me a favor and make sure to get down there to the security box for them. You would never do that. You would be like, oh, hell no. But people do it. So, with that being said, I gotta know, is Spirit convicting you right now? How do you really feel about this message so far? I want you to think about it and write it down in the chat, because it's time for us to take a deeper look at the hidden motives, agendas, and anything else that come out with these next set of cards. So think about how this message is making you feel and write it down in the chat, because baby, we about to get all up and through there. All right, here we go. Now, this is where Spirit reveals what was hidden, shows us the true motives and the real intentions behind you or your person and what you may be avoiding at this time. So with that being said, rip the Band-Aid off, Spirit, and show us what we need to know. No, I ate it. All right. Now, what is the real thing that was hidden? Too many cards, Spirit. I just need one. We got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay? What Spirit is telling you with this card is what you don't see is that you have done all the work to get back your joy, your happiness, your peace. Okay? What seems like an uphill climb, what seems like has been a lot of work, it's going to pay off. You are restoring your joy, your happiness, your mental health, your physical health. You are restoring. Girl, sir, ma'am, madam, whoever. I'm telling you, as you go through this process of doing this shadow work, you done lost 10 years off your face. Before you was looking old, run down, bags all down to your cheek and chin, looking sad, looking like you've been sleep deprived. Now, shoot, you sleeping good. Getting a full 8 hours of sleep. Okay? Go on to her period. You walking around looking like the snack that you are. Okay? People over here throwing themselves at you and you just looking at them like, really? But it's true.
He's not ready for all of this. It's just...
It's true. Spirit is telling you that you are doing the work and it is going to pay off. So that is what you cannot see right now. I know it feels like you are going through this emotional cycle and whirlwind, but Spirit is saying, dude, trust me. I am here with you. You are not alone. I am here with you. And this has a purpose, and this is going to get you to where you need to be in your destiny. Okay? That's what Spirit is saying to you right now. Now, what is the true? Too many cards, Spirit. And why is this card over here? This is a whole different deck. All right. What is the true motive here? Y'all, this stuff done mess with my eyes. All right. We have the Emperor in reverse. Okay. You got to get over your insecurities. Okay. Spirit is telling you, stop looking at stuff that don't matter. Everybody got insecurities. Everybody got a gut. Okay. Everybody got some bags. Everybody got some wrinkles, some grays. Okay, mine's coming through. You can probably see it real good right now. Okay? Everybody's got something. Stop looking at yourself like you're the anomaly. Like you're an alien or something. That ain't true at all. Okay? Spirit is saying, love yourself for who you are. And again, this goes back to the work that you are doing to set yourself up for ideal success. Okay? Optimized success. Now, what is the real intention here? We got the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay? What you didn't see was this mother trucker over here knew all the while that you was that thing. Okay? They knew all the while you was that guy, that Zod. They knew. They was trying to keep you from knowing that because they were insecure. Okay? They wanted to tear you down so that you didn't think that you was able and capable to leave up out the house at any given point in time and go get you somebody else if you wanted to. They wanted to neutralize you as much as possible through their self-hatred. You didn't know though. Yeah. You didn't know that though. Okay? So Spirit's saying to you, they weaponized your insecurities to make you stay put. Spirit is saying to you that they wanted to tear you down because they wanted to keep you for themselves. They knew. Don't ever be deceived that people don't know what kind of vibe, what kind of gifts they got. They know. They knew. They knew they had $100 and they got it for 10. And now they don't want you knowing that you really worth $100. Okay? Just telling you. What is being avoided here? Hello. They knew. Didn't I just tell you they knew they knew who you are? You are divine feminine energy, honey. You didn't know it before, but you're gonna know it now. Okay, you are divine feminine energy. You are wifey. You are motherly. You are nurturing. You are everything. You are I'm going to say this, but you understand. It could be the opposite. You are any man's dream or any woman's dream. Okay? You are the prize. They didn't want you knowing that though. They didn't want to cultivate that. You know why they didn't want to cultivate that? Because they didn't want you getting too big for your britches. They call themselves humbling you. But they knew the moment that you knew your worth, you was going to be out the damn door. And as you should. Why would you want to be with somebody that don't value you? You understand? It's time for you to know when it's time to go, when it's time to move on. You can have friends, you can have this, you can have that, you can have whatever you like. But if they are not giving you what you need from them in return, then what is the point of y'all being in each other's presence? A fair exchange is not a robbery, okay? You should be able to get something from them as much as they get from you. But this mother trucker, all they wanted to do was take. That's all they wanted. Now, what made it also a challenge is because, again, they knew what they had. Now they want to spin a block. But there ain't no reason for them to spin a block. You didn't value me when you had me, boo. So what are we talking about now? Ain't nothing to talk about. For what?
Child. Anyway, so
we can skip all this. Don't you call me. Don't you come by my house. Don't you send me a letter by pigeon mail. Don't you send me a collect call. Don't you even try to get up on Skype and try to look me up. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear from you. Okay? And that is the shift that is needed at this time for you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have the Five of Swords in reverse. So you are definitely overcoming you're definitely overcoming those internal obstacles that you have had going on in your life. You're finally starting to love yourself. Okay? You getting in the shower, you shaving your legs every day. You're shaving up underneath your arms. You're waxing and doing all the stuff that you got to do. You're actually putting some lotion on when you get out the shower. You actually enjoying standing there looking naked at your beautiful body that's birthed these children or whatever else that done happen. You are actually loving you. And that is an internal conflict that you were not able to embrace about yourself. So what am I saying with this? You might have had low self-esteem earlier before you met this person. And I'm telling you what probably likely has happened. They probably likely have picked up on that because remember I said they prey on the weak. So they probably sense that you had some type of emotional instability or some type of unstable perception about who you are and what you had to offer. And they played upon it. Okay? Now, my question for you then becomes, all right, did you see this all along or avoided it? Or did you just dismiss it and just kind of like second guess yourself? Because it definitely feels like to me you tried to turn a blind eye. Now, the question then becomes, why does this matter? All right? Why does this matter? Well, let me say, why does this matter and why does this matter now? Why does this matter and why does this matter now? Why does this matter and why does this matter now? Because you at the point where you said, I'm tired of working hard for nothing. Okay? This is burdensome. This is heavy. I can't keep walking around here catering to you, and nobody caters to me. That gets heavy. You said, I'm ready to free myself. Now, granted, you might have had that revelation internally and something just pushed you to that level. Or maybe you're just not having that awareness now that you are worth more than what they associated a value at. It's almost like you have jewelry and you take it to the jeweler and you have it take it to the jeweler and you have them to appraise it. And once you appraise it and you realize the ring is worth more now than what it was when you bought it, you ain't gonna give that to just anybody. That's an heirloom at this point. Okay? Depending on what it is, you might say, bury me with it, because ain't nobody deserving to keep it. Or I don't trust you not to sell it. That type of thing. You finally have appraised your self-worth and realized that you have been operating at a lower cost than what you were worth. Spirit said no more of that. Time is up for that. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I know where I am. And I ain't confused. Okay? So, let me ask you a question. If any emotions are surfacing right now, I want you to drop in the chat either a water sign or a fire sign. All right. And let me know if this message is landing. A water sign if it's making you emotional. A fire sign if it's making you feel empowered. All right. Now, as you think about that, let's get ready to look at what in the world, like, what we going to do with this? Because they trying to come back. So what is the final outcome? Are you going to stand on business? Or where is this cloud keep coming from? Are y'all going to stand on business? Or are you going to give in? All right, let's go. Now, when we talk about final outcomes, remember, Spirit shows energy, but it's up to you to decide what you want to do, okay? Spirit can light up the path and say, this is way to go. But it's up to you to decide if that's what you want to do. All right? So, when we talk about potential final outcomes, Spirit, what is going to happen in this connection with this fire and water sign? Fire and water sign. Too many cards, Spirit. Doggone it. Gave me all the cards at once. So, this water sign, as well as this fire sign, again, the 7 of Cups in reverse, okay? They're going to get to the point where they're going to realize ain't nothing they can do to change your opinion. They can try to call you all day. They can try to text. They can try to buy you flowers. You can buy your own flowers, okay? They can try to do whatever they're going to try to do to get you to pay them some attention. Again, kissing tail. Trying to get back in your good graces. Listen, we ain't even paying them no attention. We good on that, okay? Whatever they offering, we ain't buying, okay? Every time they try to come around, you shut it down. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. We also got here the Judgment card, okay? So they're going to finally start to realize that what they are doing, what has happened is a consequence of their actions and the consequences of what they did and did not do. Inaction is still an action, is nothing. Okay? So the outcomes of all the things that they've done before in the past, they're now going to see. You're not being unfair, you're being real fair. The fact that they can even pick up the phone and call you and you don't even have them blocked says a lot. Okay? The fact that you even still entertain them from time to time says a lot. It's a little concerning, but you know, sometimes they just want to hear you breathe. Now, we also got the Knight of Swords here. Okay? Again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to come fighting for this. Ain't nothing to fight for. It's almost like fighting for something that you destroyed on your own. What are we talking about here? All right. So with that being said, the last card that we have here is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Listen, you are not going to give a rat's about what they gotta say. Listen, you are standing firm. You are very clear. You are very firm. You are very defined. You are very structured. You are not going to be sitting up here playing these games with little Johnny or Earl or whoever. Now, this one Earl, we got to come up with a new name for this type of person. But, you know, little baby. Okay, whoever this person think he is, baby, you can keep on playing over there because we have moved on. We have grown up. We don't play over here no more. Okay?
The ghetto.
We done grew up. We done graduated. We done moved past that. Okay? So, with that being said, at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Hierophant. So this is a lesson that they got to learn. Okay? This is a lesson that they got to learn. It's going to be hard, but they got to learn it. Okay? What also makes this exciting is that you have achieved a new level for yourself, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay? You are no longer staying in this position of institutionalized abuse. You've moved on. You're growing. Spirit is getting you ready for the next person that you about to come in contact with. You ain't gonna have to ask nobody for permission. They gonna know what to do. Ooh, you ain't gotta teach them how to love you. You ain't gotta coach them how to love you. They gonna know. They gonna have everything that it requires for you guys to do. If you do have kids, they're going to automatically fit into your family. It's not going to be this friction and discourse and all that negativity. It's going to be a beautiful blessing when this person comes into your life. They are going to come into your life with the clear knowing, the clear cognizant, the clear understanding that, baby, we're not playing games. We are ready for this, and we are ready for you. Okay? Ain't no question. Ain't no anger, ain't no resentment, ain't no none of that. None of that. So the question then becomes, when can we expect for this new person to come? Get ready for that new. All right. Spirit, when can this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius expect to meet this new person? When is this new person coming into this fire sign's life? When is this new person coming into this fire sign's life? When is this new person coming into this fire sign's life? Well, Spirit said, let it be a mystery. Okay. So I will say within the next 3 to 6 months, you possibly will meet this person. But Spirit says, let it be a mystery. Spirit also says with that, the reason why they're saying let it be a mystery, because it would be somebody that you would never expect. This person is totally not your type. Okay? I'm going to ask one more question. About when? About when? About when? I didn't even realize I left this card in there. About when? Give us a clear, precise setting. Okay, 3 to 6 months on a cloudy day. Okay, now I want to know more. So this is how I don't stop. Where is this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius gonna meet they new boo, they new husband? I'm putting it out there for you in the universe. They new wife or they new husband. Okay, where is this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius going to meet their new person in 3 to 6 months on a cloudy day? Where are they going to meet okay, at the library. You guys have a passion for reading. Remember I said this person is not your type, okay? So book collections, reading nooks, research resources. Okay, you could be doing anything with books at this time. That's how you're going to meet this person on a rainy day 3 to 6 months from now. All right. So let me know how y'all feeling out there. All right. Because I know that's a lot. That was heavy. That was emotionally abusive to me and to you just to repeat all this stuff. But it is what it is. Okay. I wouldn't be me if I sugarcoated it, right? All right. Now, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to share space with you again. I am Mimi Lightseer, and this is PiSeas Tarot, and you have just finished up an episode of Clarity for Couples. If something resonated with you, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat or in the comment section, and let me know what landed for you. And don't forget to like the stream, subscribe to the community, and join our channel. Okay, you do that by becoming a member, right? Now, remember, everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind, patient, and gentle with others as much as you are yourself. How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Make sure you leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye.